I have spent 27 years now listening to women tell me what they don't like about themselves. And I have tried to say, hey, let's put that aside. Tell me the good. And many women have a hard time finding the good in themselves when I'm like, you're this, 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 this. And I can rattle off 10 things, but they have trouble finding that. And I really want to help women learn to love themselves because many women struggle with their weight, with their health, and it's their self-worth.
You are now listening to the podcast where authors inspire listeners to become authors, the Going North Podcast. I'm your host, certified self-leadership trainer, best-selling author, and book enthusiast, DomBrightmon. And you're going to be listening to a different author that will inspire you to join the business of immortality, known as authorship. Now let the fun begin. Today's episode is sponsored by the GoingNorthPodcast.com shop. It is going to help you have northbound direction to your own success. If you want a great inspirational quote like advance others to advance yourself, or today a reader, tomorrow a leader, heck, even some puns like pile on and always fully booked on your tote bag, mug, hoodie, heck, even a t-shirt, and many, many other items, head over to GoingNorthPodcast.com, click on the shop tab, and cop yourself some merchandise indeed. And that's GoingNorthPodcast.com/shop. And today on the highlight reel builder for authors known as the Going North Podcast, we got another super special, awesome human for you today, courtesy of one of my favorite websites on planet Earth right now, known as podmatch.com, the wonderful site where podcast guests get to connect with podcast hosts. And if they're cool, they're freaking in. As today's guest is cooler than 10 cucumbers, indeed. That's right, indeed. It's been a while since we had one of those wonderful wellness experts on the show. And this lady's been on my radar for a while, indeed, because she's got so much great content, indeed. She's got enough content to fill the whole state of Texas and California. And she's probably making so much more content, she'll fill up all of Canada, because today's wonderful guest, she's a wonderful mom, a wonderful wife, as well as a certified fitness and wellness instructor with over 25 years of experience. That's right, folks. Since she was 4 years old, she's been training folks, y'all. That's right, indeed. And she's also an international motivational speaker, indeed. So if you want someone to help you get those magical 9-pack abs, you found the right gal to do it, because she is the perfect balance guru. So let's give it up for the powerful and sensational Pam Sherman. How you doing today, Pam?
I'm so excited to talk to you today, and thank you for the lovely introduction.
Oh, my pleasure, indeed. It's like, yeah, it's one of the few times we actually reach out to have somebody on the show. It's like, well, the intro's got to be good.
Well, and listening to it, I'm like, have I really done all that stuff? Like when you read all the stuff, yes, but I am 56, so I have a lot of history.
There you go. That's right. Okay, so you started at 10. Gotcha. No, stop.
I mean, I have a funny story from when I was about 11 about being a trainer.
Ooh, how
I,
was
I,
that?
so my best friend is 2 years younger than me, and we were together, and she wanted to eat an Eskimo pie, and we were going to go for a run. And I said, hey, we got to run first, because if we eat the Eskimo pie, we're going to get a cramp. I knew this at age 11. And she started crying because we were little kids. I want to eat the Eskimo pie. And we're still friends to this day. So we met when I was 5. So we've been friends for 51 years, and we still laugh about that. She's like, you were born to be a trainer. I'm like, I know. I was always, before I even knew about it.
Where'd you even get that information from? Was it from the divine, or did you just hear the news from your parents' house or something?
My dad was actually a runner his whole life. He was an
Oh,
amazing runner in college, and I started running with him. And it's probably one of those things, like, you try to absorb everything your parents say. And I was so passionate about running at a young age. And he probably said, you can't run if you eat because you'll get a cramp. So that is probably one of the little nuggets that stuck with me.
there you go. Good old daddy girl swag. You love to see it. That's right, indeed. Had to know it had to come from somewhere. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. Because heck, even I guess that's something else I didn't mention. I guess running coach. That's Wonderful, wonderful title under many of your other titles, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes. Well, that was for a very short time. I don't do that so much anymore. For a while, I trained women to finish half marathons. I trained a woman to qualify for Boston, and then I've helped a couple friends finish marathons. I used to be a long distance runner. I'm a recovered long distance runner, so I did that a lot when I was younger.
Oh, okay. There you go. That's right indeed. Because yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I guess 2017 put the plans on hold for that, right?
It really sidelined my running and my life, and now my life is so much richer because of that car accident.
That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So my goodness, it so how did that even happen? I heard it was a pizza guy too on top of that.
Yeah, so I was actually training for a race, and this is my high energy time, Dom. It's first thing in the morning. This is when I work out. Well, that day was a day in December, and my husband and I went to the mall to finish our Christmas shopping for our kids. We stopped for lunch, we saw a movie, and I didn't head out till 3 p.m. for a run. And in California, December, beautiful, no wind, it was 50-ish. I mean, it's ideal running. I was about 2 miles away from home. I checked my running watch. I'm like, oh, running a great pace. And then I turned right after, like 20 seconds later, a guy who probably took 20 rights a day on his shift only looked left, no cars coming from the left, and sped out. The only thing is, I was right there and I couldn't stop. So I put my hand out and I screamed. And because I screamed, I face planted right into the windshield and then rolled off the car into the next lane. But I'm very fortunate because our brains, they shut down when there's trauma. I don't remember any of that. I just remember waking up, rolling on the road, and seeing him drive away. And I was like, what? He did actually pull around, but I'm sure it was very scary for him as well to actually have a human on his windshield.
Yeah, right. Oh, you put it that way. Kind of true. Like, oh God, no.
Not
I
a
knew there was
deer,
people. I knew there
not a
was
deer.
people out here.
Yeah, and it's, we how often think about when we're driving, how often are you turning right? You only look left. I mean, I look right every time now, obviously, but you look left so you don't get hit. It's very rare to look right when you're turning right. And it was actually a blessing in my life. My life is so much richer because of that day.
So I'm talking about indeed. So much richer because you published 7 books within 12 months of after that happened, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I had to stop working because I had a lot of trauma to my mouth. I had to have a lot of oral surgery. And so I had to stop teaching and training. And I found a website gal who she made my website and I had a newsletter. She's like, so my first book was an accident. She's like, why don't you write like a welcome, if people sign up for your newsletter, you get a free little something. Well, I wrote like 40 pages and she goes, this is a book. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, you give me 10 more pages, we can self-publish on Amazon. And that was the perfect balance guide to wellness. Like it was like I didn't even think about it. And then I had been training my daughter's soccer team once a week, and they would tell me, Dom, the crap they would eat. And this is high level high school soccer. And I was like, no, no. So I wrote nutrition for athletes, like young athletes. I had a friend whose daughter was going to college and she was worried about the freshman 15. And I'm like, I'm an expert at that. I gained the freshman 30. I know what to help people with. So I wrote how to avoid the freshman 15. And it was just like that. It kind of happened naturally. And so, yeah, I was a bunch in a short amount of time. I've written two in the last, I want to say 4 or 5 years, but definitely slowed down because now I'm actually working and back to my life. But while you're not working, you can actually get a lot done.
I guess hence the perfect balance, huh?
Yes, yes.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And congratulations, indeed. That's right, indeed. Multiple books, turning pain into power, taking wonderful junk of a situation, making jewels out of it. You love to freaking see it, indeed. You love to freaking see it, indeed. So, what was it like putting all your content together? Like, was it like a fast process for you since you had
Oh,
all that stuff in your head and all the stories you could possibly go from in a way.
At the time, I wouldn't say it was like slow, but because I had had a concussion and I mean, a slight brain injury. I had a slight brain bleed. Well, what happened is my daughter was a junior in high school at the time. So when she would sit down and do her homework, I would sit down and write until I got a headache. And that was like my brain going, okay, that's enough thinking for one day. So I would be able to get like an hour at a time, but an hour is a lot. And I'm a fast typer. So my books I'm not researching anything. They're all real life experience because at the time, 2017, I started in 1997. So about 20 years I had been in the industry. So there's a lot of stuff in there to write about. So I would say an hour at a time. Yes, it was fast, but I had to separate it out because I had to let my brain recover from what happened.
Ah, yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm sure the headaches were probably hurting a lot more after that situation, I imagine.
Well, it was interesting. Once I stopped concentrating and actually shut my computer, it was fine, but it was like my body telling me, and I think to be tuned into your body is really important. My body was saying, that's enough concentrating for one day. Take a nap, walk your dog, do something else, start making dinner. And that's what I would do. And then it would feel better. So there was definitely a finite amount of time that I could actually spend. But once I got one done, I was like, okay, what's the next one? Like I said, they just naturally came, which I never would have thought about writing books had I not been hit because I was doing my teaching and my training. So it was amazing opportunity for me to do something I never would have thought about.
Right, amazing indeed, amazing indeed. So any plans for future books, even though you're go, go, go mode again?
I would love to do, and I've started it and I haven't thought about it because I have been very busy with my regular life, but lessons learned from the accident because it put a lot of my life in perspective and it's easy to get caught up in the day to day. But there was a lot of huge lessons that came out of, and I had a client say this to me. I can't take credit for this, for eating a windshield. Because in fact,
Yeah.
I did leave a tooth in the windshield. So I did technically eat the windshield, but I mean, all kidding aside, there's a lot of really important life lessons learned. So that would be more of a longer endeavor. But I did start it. I do have the lessons written out. It's just a matter of taking the time to sit down to do it.
Any thoughts on possibly doing a whole dictation while you're walking, just recording stuff on audio and then just taking the audio files and transcribing it and have someone edit it out for you?
That's, that is a very good idea. Although when I'm outside, I really like to be present when I'm outside. I really
Right.
like
Oh, right.
to. So I like typing because I like to be, present in the computer when I'm outside. It's usually with my dog walking outside and I work a lot. So I like to look at the birds, listen to the birds, and just take those, whatever, 20 or 30 minutes and be present. But amazing idea. Thank you very much.
Pleasure indeed. 'Cause it's like, yeah, I noticed you released a new audio program for the latest to increase their magical confidence because they keep beating themselves up so darn much. I'm like, oh, maybe this is a sign of things to come. She might do a whole audio program and then turn it into a whole magical book.
That just came out this week, and I'm super excited about that called Love Yourself to Health. And I can give you a coupon for your listeners. I get a special coupon code for my podcasters. I have spent 27 years now listening to women tell me what they don't like about themselves. And I have tried to say, hey, let's put that aside. Tell me the good. And many women have a hard time finding the good in themselves when I'm like, you're this, 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 this. And I can rattle off 10 things, but they have trouble finding that. So last year, I thought, I need to create something short they can listen to in the car on a quick walk because women are busy. They don't have time to sit down and look at an hour-long course, but we all have earbuds in when we're doing things. And I really want to help women learn to love themselves because many women struggle with their weight, with their health, and it's their self-worth. So this course is all about mindset, which is really where it starts. Because unless you have the mindset right, you're never going to change anything else. So I do not talk about food. I do not talk about fitness. It's all about what goes on between the ears to love yourself, to take better care of yourself.
Yep, you're so right about that. Even my mom, and she's up there in age, and still hearing her almost every day sometimes talking about different features of her body that she's so self-conscious about. I'm like, what are you worried about? You're fine. You look great still. You're still pretty in the face. Like you still have folks turning heads on Sunday morning. Like, come on, you're fine.
Women are
But
mean to
she,
themselves.
yeah, it's so true. It's so true. So yeah, definitely needed. Definitely needed. Might have to put that mess on repeat 24/7.
If only women can see themselves how other people see them. You see your mom as beautiful. She picks apart her bat wings, her tummy, her
Mhm.
hips, right? If she saw you, herself, the way you see her, nothing but love and beauty, right?
Mhm.
That's be a whole different ball game.
Definitely be a heck of a lot easier too. So my goodness, something else I picked up earlier that you mentioned. I think I read about in your rules for weight loss, but it was kind of funny. You had a instead of freshman 15, it was a freshman 30, and you being a personal trainer basically at 11 years old. Like, how does that happen?
So this was the 80s before the internet, and we didn't know about nutrition. I was eating dorm food, I was eating pizza on the weekends, drinking beer, and even though I ran marathons. When you eat too much, you gain weight. You literally cannot outrun your fork, which many people, this is me raising my hand, myself included, thought if I run 20 miles, I'll lose weight. No. When you run 20 miles, you're starving. And when you're a college kid, you don't know what to eat. So you just eat a lot of food. And too much food is too much food. So I was the overachiever that gained 30 pounds instead of 15 as a freshman.
Yeah, because it's true. Because it's kind of funny when you think about it. It's like, oh yeah, all this exercise, just run off all these calories. It's like, oh wait, I gotta add more calories. At least I feel like I gotta add more calories to re-energize. Yeah, yeah, protein, all that good stuff. And it's like, hey, why is this belly expanding? It's like you can get on the scale. It's like, where did these extra 10 pounds come from? I feel the same. And where are they going?
Well, and here's the thing, back in the 80s, we didn't have this was the big baggy clothes era. So I was in a dorm. I didn't really have there was no scales in our dorms. Could kind of hide because it was big. I remember going on a training run, Dom, with a friend, and I was like, "Is there something wrong with my back?" And I lifted my shirt, and she's like, "No, it was my back fat jiggling. I didn't know I
Oh,
had it
wow.
because I never saw myself naked because you're taking showers in the dorm, in the communal showers. Oh yeah, there was a lot of extra on me because I ate too much.
There you go. That's right, indeed. And the good news is you're able to get back into form. So, any tips for folks who want to get back into form who are still trying to shed the good old COVID 30?
Yes, absolutely. Prioritize protein and vegetables at every meal. We lose muscle after the age of 40 every year unless we actively eat enough protein and strength train. So, strength training is going to be your best friend for the rest of your life. Protein, 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 and a lot of vegetables. Ditch the processed food, ditch the sugar. Yes, even this time of year, sugar is not good for anyone. And it's like a drug. Some people, you have a little bit and you can't stop eating it. So, if you can break up with sugar and forget the 3 ounces of protein. Most adults should be eating 5 to 7 ounces of protein every time they eat with the rest of your plate, lots of vegetables. When you're hungry in between meals, have an apple. Like literally ditch all the packaged, processed, all that stuff. If you focus on real food, that's going to be your best bet.
There you go. That's right. Keep that doctor away, folks. That's right, indeed. Find all the apples. That's right, indeed.
Well, and people say like there's sugar in apples. I'm like, that's natural sugar. There's fiber in there. It takes you a long time to eat. If you're hungry, have two. I bet most people cannot even eat 3 apples, but you can have 12 Girl Scout cookies. I mean, come on now, that's easy to do. But when you're talking about real food, there is a cutoff point where you just can't have any more.
Oh, yeah, it's true. It's definitely true indeed. Heck, even like with bananas themselves, it's like, oh shoot, let me just have one in the morning. Can't really have two. It's like, oh, yeah, I think I'm good. Real food has that major difference. It's like, all right, it's filling. It doesn't have the chemical stuff to trick your brain to thinking, "Oh, this is light for you, buddy."
Can't just have one of the processed stuff. That's the case. They make it so you want to have 50 and not just one.
There you go. That's right, good old ratio swag, 50 to 1. It's like, oh, come on, you could do it. You had the two. Well, you can have 20. You can have 50. You can have 100. Well, maybe not today. Ah, do it. You can do it today. Yeah, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, you'll just wake up tomorrow and it'll disappear, you know?
Yes, yes. Don't bring it into
Oh,
the house. If it's not in the house, you won't eat it.
yeah, it's true. It's true. Funny enough, if I'm not mistaken, that's probably one of your good old one-liners, the good old food to rent.
Oh my gosh. Yes. That came after one of my daughter's high school teammates said she had Taco Bell before a game and she's like, and then I had to go to the bathroom and I didn't even feel like that food stuck with me. And I said, it didn't. That's food that you rent because there's no actually nutrition staying in your body. And she was like, what? Like she was a little kid, so didn't get it. But fast food and packaged processed food, that is food you rent. That is not food that nourishes your body long term.
Yeah, it's a shame, really. Shame, really. Dang, freaking increasing every freaking day, seems like. But hey, it's all good. It's all good. So since you've been basically doing media for a long time, basically a media maven at this point, is there a question that you wish folks, or should I say, is there a question that you wish folks would ask you more often when you're on the guest side of the game?
Many are focused on weight loss. And after I got hit, it really changed my perspective as a trainer to why are we thinking short term and not long term with our health? So if we're lucky enough to get to 80 to 85, what are you doing now to make your future self feel great? I feel like people just focus on the scale when I really want them to focus on their long term health and wellness. If you have a mom or an aunt or a grandparent and they have not taken good care of themselves, their mobility is not good. They might not be able to get up off the ground if they fall. They shuffle, right? Their posture's bad. I want your listeners and other people to think what I do now makes a difference. So you might not want to exercise. However, your future self is like, exercise. Oh my gosh, get up off the couch, go for a walk, do some kitchen counter push ups. It's more like, what can I do now that my future self is going to benefit from? I feel like many are just thinking scale, scale, scale. And really, yes, I want everyone to feel good in their skin, but your long term health is far more important than what the scale says today.
Definitely can say that again. Funny enough, that actually reminds me of one of our past guests, Blake Bauer, who actually did a good at least 5+ hours of meditation a day. But that was, of course, that was him in his 20s when he had the time to do it, of course. And and it actually paid off in his 30s and I think even close to early 40s if he's in his 40s. But I know he reached in his 30s. But yeah, it was definitely paid off too because that helped him to keep the habit down to at least a good few minutes to at least an hour a day, and he keeps his feeling of peace. So yeah, you're so right. It's like focusing more on that long term wellness as opposed to just a scale, which is like, yeah, it's great. It's like, yeah, all right, the numbers, the scale likes me today. I like me today. It's like, let me like me forever, not just today.
Well, not just today. And I have a good friend who's a firefighter, and he says 60, that's 60% of his calls are for people that fall in their homes and cannot get up.
Mm,
That's a lot. And I feel like getting up should be something everybody should be able to do for the rest of their lives. So practice getting on all fours and then getting back up, or sitting on your butt and getting back up. That shouldn't be something you call the fire department for goodness sakes.
mm. So put on a dog suit, folks. That's right, indeed. All fours. Let me bark at yourself. So come on, body, get up. Let me It could be a cat suit too. They got fours.
Yep,
If
they
you're
sure do. They sure do.
can't forget the cat lovers, am I right?
Yes, can't leave them out.
That's right. All the wolves, the meows, and the other animal noises. The whole animal kingdom. Well, maybe not the whole animal kingdom. We don't need no sharks.
No, no, no.
Oh, God. Well, since sharks bite, you got this fabulous book. Let's see here. Let's go with the one in front of me. So you got one of these magical books, Rules for Weight Loss, No Nonsense Wisdom for Long-Term Success. So if that book were a food, what would it be and why?
It would be a great big salad with a big piece of fish or chicken on it because fiber is such an important part of weight loss, and so is protein. Fill your plate with protein and then vegetables surrounding it. And so that would be, or the protein of your choice. It could be shrimp, it could be, pork, it could be beef, but a huge salad that's super colorful. Think of tomatoes, cucumbers. You can even do cauliflower, red peppers, Mexican salad with fajita meat on top, anything, a huge salad with your protein. That is what is the food that correlates with the book.
There you go, folks. That's right indeed. I got salad. It's got the rainbow swag. That's right indeed. With the protein. That's right indeed. To keep up your muscles, as some would jokingly say. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Makes you stay strong for a long time. That's right indeed. That way you can wake up at 80 and outrun someone who's 20 because they had too much of the crap food. Let me
Well, yes, and it's a big salad because there's been, when I was growing up, for losing weight, deprivation was the key. And I'm like, no, we're not depriving ourselves. You're having more. I want you to have more greens. I want you to have more vegetables. I want you to have more protein. So it's a huge salad where you look at it and be like, I can't eat all that. Oh, yes, you can. I'm certain that you can. And then you'll be full and satisfied and not looking for the cookies after lunch because you're so satisfied.
That's right. Or the vanilla ice cream, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Because name of the game, you don't want to have a whole snowman of vanilla ice cream. You want to have a giant salad. That's right indeed. So the fiber gets into you. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Along with the protein too. Makes you feel better. That's right indeed. Makes you feel better and not butter. Right indeed. That's right. Hey, so my goodness, we're coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive, and that is if you were to wake up tomorrow and you were 25 again, but you're still in the current year, what advice would you give to yourself?
Stop running marathons and start strength training and never stop. I would keep running because running was good for my mental health, but strength training is the best thing people can do for their long-term health. And start meditating. I didn't even know what that was, but there wasn't even talk about meditating when I was 25. Maybe your guest is a lot younger than me, but there has to be that balance of calming yourself down. And I will say this, Dom, for anybody listening, my husband just said this. I don't get meditation. Like I just, it's boring. It is actually, but you do it every day for a month and you'll see a difference. Nobody's going to get in shape by going to the gym for one day. All of your health habits are all about consistency, meditation, stretching, strength training, eating well. It's day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. So I would have stopped chasing marathons and I would start strength training because that's going to help me the most when I'm 80. I'm going to be super fit, badass grandma when I'm hopefully when I'm 80 years old.
Oh, you freaking will. That's right indeed. Folks will be like, "You sure she's 80? We need to be dyslexicans. Change that to 8." Like she's freaking cut still. Like, God dang. Like, man, she's a freaking role model. I need to be like her when I'm 80.
Thank you. Yes, that's the whole key, the whole goal.
Heck yeah, indeed. Because, hey, it's happening a lot nowadays. Like, a lot of folks are living a lot longer and going to the gym a lot longer and staying healthy a lot longer and putting some of the folks out there to shame. It's like, oh man, folks at 40 can't keep up with the folks who are 80. It's like, oh, something's happening.
When you're 40, life is busy. Usually kids are little. You're going to weekend soccer tournaments all the time. When you're 80, you have more time for yourself because you're not being pulled in all those different directions. Or even 60, you have a lot more time for yourself. But doing those little bits every day, you could do a 1 minute meditation every day. You can do kitchen counter push-ups every time you go into your kitchen. You can make sure you prioritize protein every day. Like building those little habits really does make a difference. So you will feel great when you're 80.
There we go. That's right. That's right indeed. Use the whole house as your gym. That's right indeed. Especially if you're one of those introverts who doesn't have to worry about wiping the sweat off from somebody who was unsanitary.
So gross. Gym etiquette, man, that's just. But with YouTube, there's so many great workouts you can do at home. You don't have to go to a gym if you don't want to. YouTube is magical for that.
That's right indeed. And you got a YouTube channel yourself too. So my goodness. So for those need to keep in contact with you, keep up with your journey, especially over the things you probably got cooking over the next 6 to 12 months and beyond. What's the best way for folks to do so?
My YouTube channel is Pam Sherman. You can stretch with me. You can work out with me. I've got body weight workouts. I've got dumbbell workouts. I have 1 minute of peace if you want a 1 minute meditation. I'm on Instagram and TikTok at lowercase Pam underscore Sherman1. And that's really where I'm most active on social media. And my website is theperfectbalance.guru.
Woohoo! Well, there you have it, folks. The perfect balance guru, y'all. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. One of those gurus that doesn't have one of those big golden bellies sitting in a random display somewhere out in East Asia with a wonderful bead headdress. Like this is a real life guru indeed. That's right indeed. She's fit. She's cut. That's right indeed. She was stolen off the market early. She's got kids as proof. That's right indeed for a reason. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So she's got you covered like a blanket. So check out all of her wonderful wares and cop some copies of her magical books indeed to help you change your life for the better. And if I'm not mistaken, you're on the Fit Radio app as a coach, right?
I am on Fit Radio. I have some running workouts as well as some strength training workouts. I have on the TerraCore app. That's looks like a step on one side and it has around it almost like a Bosu on the other side. I've taught for Helix. There's a couple other companies that are over in Europe that I've taught for. I mean, exercise and wellness is my passion. So I want to be the over 50 person. It's like, you can still work out. Age is just a number. You keep moving.
Heck yeah, indeed. You heard it here, folks. That's right, indeed. You can be over 50 and still be in shape. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. You can kill it. That's right, indeed. You can kill it. Indeed. That's right, indeed. Very soon, you'll probably be stronger than a camel with 3 humps. That's right, indeed. Well, before Penguin tries to get on top of that camel and ride it across the desert, any parting words before we close up shop, Pam?
I want people to know that their health is their greatest wealth, that taking care of yourself is never a waste of your time. When I hear people say they're too busy, I'm like, you know what? You don't have to work out for an hour. You can work out for 10 minutes. We all have to eat. Make your choices wisely so you feel great, not for your, a lot of people eat for their feelings. I want you to eat for your long-term health and wellness. And you are worth every single minute you put into yourself and your health.
If you're hearing this part of the episode, that means you're one cool individual. Thanks a bunch for tuning in, and if you enjoyed what you heard, be sure to share it with at least one other person in your network. Bonus points for 3. And be sure to check out the backlog too while you're at it, because there are hundreds of wonderful episodes to choose from as well.